breathing.
Crowd favorite, the pec curl. So the idea is when we curl, when you guys do a bicep curl, let's just do some for fun. Grab some dumbbells and then start curling. So most of the time we're just curling up, even without momentum. Our shoulders usually kind of rise up and come up, or whatever you're doing. And then I want you to hold the top. Everyone thinks you can isolate muscles. That's not how the body works. If you're holding the top, just holding here, you start to feel that your triceps on. Maybe your pec starts to turn on, hopefully. Some people might feel the front of the shoulder or their trap. So then I want you to put one dumbbell down. The idea behind it is that when you do things, when you do movements, your pec has to work with the bicep, right? That bicep's not going to do its own thing. You can try, but typically it'll recruit the trap or the shoulder. So if I bicep curl this way, my pec is turned off, and then you're encouraging that shoulder to come up forward, which causes a lot of problems. So do a couple reps where you guys are curling, exaggerate it, when you curl up and then you shrug up.
Oh, you want us to do it wrong?
Yeah, of course. And then you'll feel no pec activation.
Yeah, there's a...
And that's where when you get heavy, you tend to do this. And so essentially what you're telling your body to do is, for movement, every time you need to recruit that bicep for deadlifting, you're going to do this. Every time you for a pull-up, you're doing this. Pec.
Okay.
So for us, we want to train the bicep just for the sake of it looking good, which it will, because the pec is actually going to help it become bigger, if that's the goal. I want you guys to hold on to your dumbbells, and then I want you to punch down until down and in. So you see my elbow rotate out a little. So when you punch down and in, you'll feel the pecs turn on. And then I want you to keep that pec on, keep that shoulder punched down while you curl up. So go slow. So the idea is, if you can't feel the difference of this, go real slow. You always retest. So I feel my pec burning the whole time. So what's happening is that when I'm curling, engaging my bicep, the pec is stabilizing that shoulder. So if I'm using that bicep to hold up a deadlift, the pec is helping it too. So you don't, and it rolls up, you know what I'm saying? If you're deadlifting and you're kind of curling it like this, no pec on, that little bicep can't hold all that barbell weight. And that's what causes it to fray, right? Or even when people tear on like skipping pull-ups or regular pull-ups. So you anchor down, now I'm training my bicep, but that pec is stabilizing, not my trap, not the front of the shoulder. So try that out real quick. To feel the right and wrong way, you can just do one without flexing your pec. Hold it there. See where you're carrying that weight. Usually it's the front of the shoulder. Your pec's not on. Biceps barely flexed.
For me, what helps mentally too is when you start here, as you're coming up, I'm constantly thinking about putting my shoulders into my pockets. Like,
so that's a good one.
Totally talking about
the whole range of motion. I'm thinking shoulders down into my pockets the whole time.
Because the idea is we want to go against it coming up, right? So when you're bicep curling, he's pushing the shoulders down actively, and he's using his pec to do that. Every time he's curling, he's flexing the shoulder down. So most of you guys have done the pec curl before. If you're new to it, work on it. Your bicep won't get as big as you want it to, or strong and functional as you want it to, without the pec being on. I've tried. You can tell I have very small biceps. They're bigger than they were before, because I used to do all those like isolated curls. But functionally, this is going to get bigger than the pec itself. So that's the first step, to make sure your pec is on. The second step is making sure that you're not in this position, a non kind of athletic or functional position like this. My pec is on. I see a lot of people, oh, and they're curling here, but look at my traps. Look at my back, right? I'm exaggerating, but some people do look like that when they do the pec curls. So what you want to do is make sure that you're using the pec and teres up here, if you care. So from this position, instead of just flexing the pec rounding here, you're going to flex the pec, keep your pec on, and then try to open up your chest just a hair. So if you ever see those bodybuilder poses, they're trying to like flare their lateral back. You want to keep this position. Now my shoulder's sitting on my lats and my pec is on. So from here, you're training the front of your shoulder, big muscles, your pec, your back muscles, stabilize that shoulder. And then once it's as stable as it can, and then you curl. So just like Johnny was saying, you're pulling the shoulder down. Now you're just pulling the front and the back. So before, a lot of people just do this, and then they start curling, and it's all in their trap still. Yeah. But you want to kind of pull back and down a little, turn that upper trap off, engage some back muscles so the pec and back is on. People always talk about the grip position. It doesn't matter as long as your shoulder is set with the right muscles. So my pec and my lat is on, or teres, whatever you like to call it, doesn't matter. Versus before you just do the test retest, you feel a lot more muscles engaged just in this simple curl versus before, just like this, or whatever we were doing. I don't know. There's no tension anywhere in my body, really. But now I tighten everything up and then keep my back and chest on while I curl. Because again, the function is making sure these guys stay on to stabilize the movement that's happening. Just like a deadlift we talked about, is this is stabilizing the bar from going forward and stabilizing the bar from bending my back. Okay. That makes sense? So make sure.
Yeah, so instead of my extremities doing all the heavy lifting.
And the weight has to go somewhere. So what happens is you try to use your bicep for something. Usually the shoulder comes up and forward. And that's where all bad things happen. So you could play around with just standing down and flexing like what Johnny was saying, just to keep the shoulder down. And then just move your arm. That's usually a basic step. Second, the harder part is making sure, because we live here, I tell a lot of people your shoulder's at like a -3. So you pulling your shoulders back might feel like you're exaggerating it, but you're not. You're just getting back to even. And then from here, you're still engaged here. And if you feel some tension around the armpit or back area, you're doing fine. That's it. So you have to get both sides engaged, or else you're just going to encourage this just because your pec, some people might be pec heavy. They're just going to, and trap, they're just going to get more and more into this position here. Versus you want to be a little more upright and functional, I guess. So that's the pec curl.